So we've all heard the phrase, don't cry over spilled milk. And when we say that, what we mean is don't sweat the small stuff. When we say that, we're trying to help people get perspective, to not get caught up on a minor failure or setback. There's a lot of wisdom in that. I want to turn that around because I think there are some things that we really need to focus on that are kind of small. So like the coronavirus started out really small, but now it's a worldwide pandemic. And things that are also kind of trivial, like washing your hands and not ignoring a slight fever, can actually save lives. So there are some things in life that it's important to sweat the small things. The other day I was reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and I came across a really interesting phrase. It says that we might not desire evil as they did. That's powerful. The Israelites had these evil desires that they had brought with them out of Egypt that they never fully put to death. And that eventually destroyed the whole nation. That reminded me of something that James says. It reads, but each person is tempted when he's lured and enticed by his own desire. Check that out. James is saying that the temptations and sins that we experience start out as these small desires that we have allowed to grow. He goes on and he says this, then desire when it's conceived gives birth to sin, and sin when it's fully grown brings forth death. So that tells me we need to sweat the small stuff. The little things, these little desires that might seem kind of trivial, grow into full-on sinful patterns that bring death into our life. So as we're sitting at home and we're thinking about how do we move forward in our faith, we need to sweat the small stuff. This reminds me of something C.S. Lewis said. He said that good and evil grow at compound interest. And so the smallest good action that we start today can turn into a wonderful pattern for our life. But the opposite is also true. Let me read to you what he says here. An apparently trivial indulgence in lust or anger today could be the loss of a strategic point in the battle for tomorrow. In other words, we give Satan the opportunity to destroy us tomorrow because of the desire that we allowed to grow today. So, sweat the small stuff. Take notice of the things that are growing in your heart. We need to feed our faith. Guys, the best way to make sure that those evil desires don't grow and get a foothold is by cultivating a desire for Jesus, by feeding that love for Christ. That's why we've been talking about going on prayer walks, taking time in God's Word. Don't miss a moment to keep moving forward when everything is standing still.